With the Kiteboarder magazine. We're here at the AWSI trade show in Hood River. We're here with Bella from all the way from Fuerteventura.
Yeah, the Canary Islands.
Yeah, and so you're here, and Bella's going to walk us through the F1 SUP lineup, as well as some exciting stuff in the in foil SUP and foil surfing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'll introduce you guys talking about SUP a little bit. We have some new things for this year. We have a new touring range, all new touring range, where we have sizes for women, for guys, and we have from the 11.6 all the way up to 14. And we've done something a little bit unique where we didn't only adapt the graphics to the women, we also adapted the size of the board, the volume of the board, the thickness, everything to go along with the difference in weight. So that's kind of unique from us. This is the 11.6 that we're looking at down here. On the SUP, then we have on the all-around, we continue to have our Manawa, which is our most all-around board in the whole range. Manawa, we go down to the Taiba, which is an entry-level surf board that also tours a little bit. That was as a touring board. From there, we have the Nusa. It's our longboard SUP, one of my personal favorites. And
I've seen you rip that in Dokla.
Yeah,
so yeah, no, I know.
It's a board that really does a bit of everything. You can tour with it, and also you can enjoy the waves, but at the same time, the length allows you to paddle it and be a bit of an all-around cruiser. Within the wave range, we continue to have the Madero. Madero is our high-performance board. We have both in the bamboo and the carbon construction. And from there we go to our Papena, which is our board meant for smaller waves, beach breaks, but it also doubles up as a convertible board, where we have it in a convertible range where you can windsurf with it, you can foil with it, you can surf with it. So it's probably our most. This is actually our convertible one that we have inserts on the top to be able to windsurf, and also the twin tracks, the US twin tracks to adapt for foiling.
Cool.
And then, speaking of foiling, probably is our newest thing. Foiling is, as you guys know from kiting, from many years of experience in the kiting, we've been really developing them over the last few years. We're very proud to have a full range now within both SUP and surf foiling, which is kind of a new area for F1, where we have dedicated surfboards and also surf boards specifically for foiling. We'll start with the SUP, which is the natural transition from a lot of the people that come from the windsurf, from even on the kiting side of it. Our main model for this is the Rocket. What we're looking at here is the 7.6, our biggest board, 7.6 by only 27.5, but don't let the size confuse you. It's 120 liters. So this can take a pretty heavy guy. And obviously within the SUP foiling, you're looking at something that is quite short. But once you get up and you start pumping, you need something short. You know, anything you have, once you're up in the air, it's too much. So this is for the heavier guy. You can go over 200 pounds, guys, over 220 on these boards. And this is for just dedicated foil board. Within this, we also have, as I mentioned before, the Papeno. The Papeno is a board that can also double up as a foil board. And we have a 711 model that compares to the Rocket, with the only difference that the Papeno you can also surf and you can windsurf, versus the Rocket is just a dedicated board for just foiling. We don't even have fins on the board, so it's just a foil board with the volume and everything adjusted to it. We put strap inserts for depending. The trend seems to be no straps.
Right.
So it's probably something familiar to the kite, right? But there are people still out there that prefer to have the straps, depending on what they're doing with it. It does give you an extra sense of security with the straps, especially when you're learning. And also there's a new tendency that's growing quite rapidly, which is the downwind foiling.
Right.
And on the downwind foiling, there's a lot of guys that prefer to have the straps.
That helps with the foil up, right? You can separate the board from the water.
Yeah, it helps you separate it, and then you got to really keep the board on a plane, because as soon as you touch the water, you got to take off in the middle of the ocean, which is quite tough.
Right.
On the SUP, you can do it, but if you're surf foiling, for example, at this point, it's not really, unless you're out there with a massive swell, you're not going to take off again.
Right.
So it's really a big trend. So yeah, we're really excited for these guys. The construction is full carbon, so no compromises there to try to achieve the lightest weight. Also on underneath the board, we have the mounts for it, which is the turtle mount or the twin tracks. You have a choice of both. So these boards are universal with any foil in the market. So even if they're not using an F1 foil, they can use the board with any foil. You have the turtle mount or the US tracks. So whatever you use on that. From there, we move to the surf range. This is our 5.0, probably one of our most popular sizes. This is 35 liters, so your average surfer or even a 200-pound guy can still use this. We go all the way up to 6'4", so we have a 50-liter board, but as you know, which is actually that one right there, but as you know, size in foiling is key, so we really have to go quite short. This is 5.0. We have a 4.2 model, which is 26 liters, and this is our most popular board. We have the choice of having a pad or no pad, depending on the preference. Most people that come from surfing, they prefer no pad.
Gotcha.
We do keep the kick pad on the back, and these boards are 100% foiling. As you can tell, this one we have mounted with our bigger wing, our 1400 wing, which is our, it's an all-new system that we have. I can show you maybe better on a separate wing. So we have two wings going to the surf foil range and the SUP. One is a 1200 and the other one is a 1400 that you see mounted over there. The 1200 is our most popular one. The key difference here from many foils that we have in the past is if you look at the profile, we have no screws or no mounting of any kind on the actual wing. So the wing is completely clean and a seamless design.
So the whole assembly is different for this year, right?
Yeah, actually everything is completely different from the past. As you can tell, is a one-piece fuselage with the wing. So the mast mounts on top of it with the Titan mast foot, and it just goes into the wing. So what this allows you is to actually place the wing quite close to the mast, making the wing a lot more maneuverable.
Right.
So you don't have any gap on that, and also you don't create any corrosion in between the screw and the actual wing. You know, anytime you have alu against alu and things like that, it gets a bit tricky over time.
Cemented up.
Yeah, it likes to stay together. And then we kept the back fuselage and a second piece, so it's easy to mount, and you just have the two screws, top and bottom, that mounts onto the stabilizer. The stabilizer are the same ones that we use for kiting.
Okay.
So it's the exact same design.
The one thing I really noticed is that all these have the same size hardware with the star drive. That's really hard to strip. So
yeah,
that's an awesome little feature for the guy that has to disassemble and put together.
Yeah, when Charles, our designer, look into all this, the torque is supposed to have the better strength on it on the star, and it is a different tool that most people will not have with them. But with the one tool that we actually provide with the set, we send the tool with the set, then you have everything you need, and it's not stripping, because I mean you do put a lot of pressure into this, depending on what sport. Whether in kiting you have lots of high speeds, even if you're windsurfing the same. So you need something that is not going to strip. You know? So it's.
And one thing you had mentioned earlier is that all the different foils, they're modular, right? You can use them. You could be a kiter. You can go foil surfing. So you can put all these different parts together, right?
Yeah, actually, the one thing that is pretty unique to F1 is that, like I mentioned, some things with the stabilizer, for example, that is it is the same, and from the kiting all the way up to the SUP, and this is something that RAF is very proud of, and they were very hard on the design to be able to have one foil that can do everything. So, for example, with this 1200 that we have here, you can kite, you can SUP, you can surf foil, you can windsurf with it. Of course, it's a big wing, so when you're kiting, it depends. You're not going to kite race with something like this, but you can have a one wing for everything. So it's kind of a unique feature on that. Also, the design, the only difference on the mount, the mats are interchangeable. So the mat if you're kiting, obviously you're not going to kite on a 65
right. So you're going to want something a little taller.
But then you only need to change the mast. You can save the plate, you can save the Titan insert, so you only have to change the mast, which is actually quite cheap in the scheme of things, and it's something that you can just travel with 2 or 3 masts and just one foil and do everything. So this is something we're quite happy about.
Very cool.
All right, is that enough?
Yeah, I think that's great. That's a great walkthrough.
Once I get going,
you're good. Well, hey, Bella, thank you very much. And if anybody's looking for more information, they would go to a website.
Yeah, we have a brand new website that is launching tomorrow on the 16th. So stay tuned for that, and we're very excited for the release of the new website and the new company marketing as well. So one culture that everybody's going to be quite excited about.
All right. Well, hey, thank you, Bella.
Thank you, guys.